So I'm here with Laurie Bowman. So excited to talk to you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, who is Laurie?
Laurie Bowman is a woman who has been in the movement experience, working out experience her whole life. This is a true story. When I was growing up, I used to try to play hooky from school in Washington, D.C. I went to Civil Friends High School and go to Gilda by Design and try to get to an aerobics class because I was obsessed with the body and working out. And seeing movement patterns and just obsessed with choreography. I became a modern dancer, and it was an obsession from an early age. I was always very athletic, and I loved sports, team players within this the arena of being on a team, having each other's back. And I feel like that is what I'm about with the client. I really have their back. I like that partnership that is created, and that has been instilled with me since I was a little girl. So I was little Miss Charleston too.
Little Miss Charleston. Wow. That's awesome. So where are you from then?
I'm from Chevy Chase, Maryland, and I went to school in Washington, D.C. So I went to
Washington, D.C. And did you pursue sports there as well, or is that
I was
started?
very athletic. I also was training as a ballet dancer, so it got overwhelming, not for my parents, but for me to do the athletics. I was a soccer player, basketball players. I did gymnastics. I was on the gymnastics team. And I can remember the coach, one time I was in a meet in gymnastics and I was on the beam and I was doing a back walkover and I fell. And she made me get back on, and it was that coaching that I loved, and it gave me that inner spirit to keep going. And then for our team to win the gymnastics meet, I had to do this vault, and she had me go through mind and matter and do it in my head, and I did it because it's so important the mind and body connection. And I think that's why I'm so involved with movement and mind and body and the Pilates work and my own work.
Would you say that your gymnastics coach kind of inspired your transition into this more personal training coaching position?
Yes, I would say all my peers, also all my teachers, not only scholastically, but in every way. My ballet teachers, my coaches, they instilled something in me at a young age. And I also went to camps, and I was part of a team to win, and I was always, I was a good loser, but I loved winning. I loved that spirit of like, even as a kid playing games, I wasn't always the one that had to win, but I enjoyed it. But I just loved that, giving it 100% effort and walking away with an achievement, which I tend to do with my clients. So
I was just going to say, that winning competitive spirit, I imagine that translates well to focusing on
Sorry about that. Okay,
oh,
yes.
No problem. To focusing on your clients, like when they achieve something, you achieve something.
Oh, totally. And it's a lot of people say to me, teaching, oh, you do it while you're with the client. I never do it. That time is about the client. To be a teacher takes years. They said I was also an actor. To train as an actor or actress, it takes 10 years. You just can't, you develop that craft and those traits. And to be a good trainer per se, teacher, it can take years. Some days I don't feel like I know anything, and I've been doing it 20 some years, but you constantly are learning, evolving, and it's a great relationship you have with your client, and it's amazing. It transpires in so many ways, mentally and physically. So it's great.
Wow. So you said 20 years, right? Personal training. Yeah. What's been
Probably
the biggest?
More too.
What's been the biggest, lesson you've learned from starting out as a trainer to where you are now?
I think that a lot of things aren't just written in a book. That individualistically, each body has certain patterns and recruitment patterns and challenges. And it could be a mental challenge. It could be something physically like a frozen shoulder or a hip problem or the lower back area sacrum issue. But it's not in a book. I will tell you this. It's hands-on experience, and it takes time to really master that. It takes time.
And, in mastering personal training and interacting with your clients, how do you keep them motivated and accountable?
I follow up all the time. I'm one of those people that once they're in my bubble, they're in my bubble, and I take care of them. I mean, remember, it's a service. They pay for my service. You want to be 100% on the ball every time you're working with them, because I know in New York City you can be replaceable. When I lived there, so I have that mentality. I have to be my best every time. Now you do get friendly with your clients and you start talking. And I've learned over the years that you have to keep it business. And the business is letting them really learn the work and do 100% each time they're with me. So don't distract them too much. Be distracted. And I get that. But it's, a lot of the work that I do is very concentrated. And as I evolve, and I'm studying as well with a master trainer, and I said to her the other day, I can't believe how much concentration it takes. So it does take a lot of concentration. Now I feel like I'm the client, which is fun, and to learn and to experience what they're experiencing with me.
Right, to constantly be teaching, but also learning and improving yourself. That's awesome.
And evolving. It's never stagnant. And our bodies, every day, it's different. Like an actor or dancer, when I was on stage, every single day is different. You're a different person. You could walk, like I had a glass of wine last night. I don't drink wine. I had one glass and I'm a little, you just don't, or you have too much sugar, or you have too much salt, or you don't sleep well. We're in COVID. So, there's the election, this and that. So it's constantly, even how you sit, how I'm sitting right talking to you, it's a constant, work that constant work you have to do to maintain good posture, maintain a body that's sound, feels good.
That's my cue to sit up a little bit more.
Sit up straight.
And then just for understanding more of your teaching and teaching style, is there anything in particular that you are specialized in, or is it kind of all realms?
It's interesting that you say that, because I definitely think every teacher who has mastered teaching they have to find their gestalt, their teaching style. If I don't want to be somebody else, I do want to learn from somebody and kind of extrapolate from that and somewhere else, and then make my own. And I think I do have my own style. It's definitely Pilates based, but it's also movement based, because I was a trained modern dancer and I got my degree in dance. So it's a combination of that. And also I love yoga. So it also combines some of the yoga elements.
Awesome. And so I know you briefly touched upon it, and I want to circle back. COVID, very kind of uncertain times we're living in. How has COVID-19 affected your business? And what do you imagine your business to look like in a post-COVID world?
So when COVID happened, I did have a couple clients that knew financially something was going to happen in the world and kind of just stopped training. It was weird. They just felt like they weren't sure what was going to happen. I did have a lot of clients that kept up with me. I grew it from, they weren't sure about the virtual, but I can really see the body so well virtually. And they tried it and they have been doing fine with it. There are also people who come to my studio. We wear masks. It's hard to breathe, but we do it. I clean very well, this and that. But the virtual, to answer your question, it is something that's why I'm studying every day, because when you're with the client personally, and I'm so hands-on and I can't do that, I really have to verbalize it. And it can be frustrating. Sometimes I have a lot of clients that are ADD and all over the place, or depressed. You have a lot of clients that aren't moving who are depressed. Now, I'll tell you, right now I'm doing 20 to 25. During COVID, I had 5, then I built it up to 30, and then certain things were happening. Like I have a client who now her back surgery that she had went wrong, and she's got nerve damage. She's the 3 times a week client. There's somebody who's very depressed. You're dealing with everyday life with COVID. So, but I can be happy and say, like right now I have a regiment basis of 25. Now I do have about 10 clients who I've not seen because I'm not allowed in the building where I'm the wellness director. And they don't want to do virtual because they're very stuck, and that's fine. And I get that. But they're missing out because the virtual really has been wonderful for the people who've kept it up the whole time. Like I have clients who started it and they're still doing it. Those 5 clients, but then it built up, and then somebody said to somebody, you should, do it, try it. And I always said, try it. And if you don't like it, I won't charge you. And a lot of them have stuck with it, which has been great.
And how does trainer fit into this, virtual side of your personal training business now?
So training a trainer, which has been wonderful for me because that was it was so unbelievable to try to master putting some classes together within phrases of the movements that were videotaped. And so program and design, which you can stop and start and see me doing it, and then you can hear me doing it. And I think for somebody out there who has not seen or who experienced trainer, should definitely try it. There's so many good programs and designs that are for you. Like I have certain, protocols that are out there for you just to tap in, and it's not expensive. And I'm here to answer any questions or calls or whatever, if you have any questions during the program. So, and I'm excited to do more and more. So I think trainer is a great way that somebody can work out in the comfort of their home and keep their body and mind sound. It's so important. I was just being educated about osteoporosis over 50 and people falling, and we need, and our posture, oh my gosh, just sitting, down all the time. Our hip flexors are tight, our upper body, our thoracic spine is rounded instead of lifted and extended. And it can put such damper on your mind and body. And and to make you feel like you're in pain. So we really want to get the body moving, and trainer is a great way to do it.
It's definitely something I need. It's something I've struggled with, my posture constantly, book on the head, it's just the old tactics. So I'm
I struggle with it now because I'm doing so many virtual, and I lean forward, and I've been teaching for so many years that I'm learning and discovering things for myself with my trainer, But I think for me, this whole pandemic has really put me back into, instead of doing like 40 to 40 clients a week, to stepping back, taking care of me, and also learning so I can be a better teacher. And I've always educated myself, but I'm really educating myself more because I have more time to do that.
That's wonderful, Laurie. What excited you most about trainer? What appealed to you most?
What appealed to me most was that I could program and design with these certain movements in so many different ways for that person, which is so cool. And if somebody doesn't understand, what I'm trying to say is that I will do a certain phrase of a movement, and then I could put a different phrase right after that, and then another one. and then for one program, and then design it a different way for another day. So it keeps you captivated, the trainer and the client.